Well, hello. Imagine if we were able to vaccinate our children against low self-esteem. And we all know how damaging low self-esteem is and how it can completely translate into addictions, suicides, and outside of that, just a whole lot of anxiety and depression. So I want to share with you today how you can basically vaccinate your children against low self-esteem. And let me start by sharing with you what self-esteem actually is. Self-esteem is nothing other than what you say when you talk to yourself. And so as parents, here's what we can do. We get the opportunity to put that voice or to create an environment that supports and influences how our child talks to themselves. So as parents, it is our responsibility not to try to give them their self-esteem by telling them, you're amazing, well done, that's fantastic, oh, you're so good. Now, I'm not saying you can't ever say those things, but they do teach our children to look for external validation. So here's what you do instead. We want to create an environment that leaves the child the space to talk to themselves, and because that's ultimately what self-esteem is. So next time your child does something amazing, they get an award at school, maybe they go up a reading level, maybe they come and tell you about how they handled a challenge, whatever it might be, don't tell them they're amazing. Don't tell them how great they are, fantastic. When your little 2-year-old brings you a drawing and instead of looking at it going, wow, that's amazing. Oh, you're so clever. Don't do that. Instead, ask them this one question. Well, that doesn't surprise me. What do you attribute that to? So when we act all surprised to our children, we say, wow, that's amazing. The subconscious message in that reaction, although it's not our intention, the subconscious message they receive, the voice that goes on inside their head is, oh, you didn't expect that of me. Oh, you don't see me as that good. Well, maybe I'm not that good. You were surprised by the fact that I did that well. So if instead we respond with, oh, it doesn't surprise me, to be honest. What do you attribute that to? When they got an award, they got picked for a team. Well, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, very well done. What do you attribute that to? Now, what that does is it leaves the child space to tell themselves, well, I've worked really hard. I'm a hard worker. Yeah, I did pretty well. But next time you have the opportunity to praise your child, be calm about it. Be real in your energy, but be calm and say, well, that doesn't surprise me at all. Because what you've just told your child is, of course you did. I expect that of you. That's how I see you. I see you as the kind of person that does well, that gets awards, that's resilient, that's adaptable and all those things. So it doesn't surprise me at all. What do you attribute that to? Don't you tell them, well, that's because you work hard. Or that's because, you've been training hard for that. Or that's because you're so clever. Don't you give them those sentences, because that doesn't give them self-esteem. It leaves no room for them to say that to themselves. Instead, they take our voice, and our voice becomes their inner voice, but the downside of that is we're not always going to be there. And we don't want to teach our children to have someone around to validate something they've done in order to feel like they're good enough. We want to raise conscious children who are congruent, authentic, true to themselves, and that can be in their own moment and receive their own internal feedback that I'm pretty awesome. I did a good job. I'm good at what I do. And so when we're not there to give them that sentence, where will they get it from if they've never had to get it internally before? So as a parent, set up the environment, just share with them, what do you attribute that to? And for those of you who would love more information on all of the different language changes, just these little words here and there that completely build a child's self-esteem, so that essentially you are vaccinating your child against low self-esteem, we can do that. It's all about how us as parents set up an environment, a mental and emotional environment for our children to invite them to find those kind of sentences themselves, so that the voice on the inside of their head is not ours, it is just theirs. My name is Holly Noon, I'm from The Holly Effect, and if you have enjoyed this movie, then please, down below, If you want more of this kind of stuff, let me know. Do you want to know more on how to build a child's self-esteem? Do you want to know how dangerous it is if a child doesn't have, high self-esteem? What is it that you would like to know specifically around self-esteem? Are your children struggling with something around their self-worth or their confidence? Do you have a shy child? If you do, please comment below, share a specific question if you can, and I would love to get around to answering that for you.